Today we're standing in front of the collaborative trial, chip trial with black gold, and there are 17 lines in this trial, and I'd like to talk about two of them specifically in relation to our standards, Atlantic and Snowden, specifically Atlantic. The first I'd like to talk about is over here. It's NC 636-5. It is a mid-season chip. Well, these are all chip potatoes. It's a mid-season potato with gravity that's just slightly better than Atlantic in the trials we've seen it in. The size profile is slightly smaller than Atlantic, and that trade-off between sizing up and gravity shows itself there, because you've got the set, you've got the potatoes, but you don't get the size that you would out of Atlantic in it. It's been trialed for a few years in our program. We've looked at it. It's actually washed out of the National Chip Processors trial because of susceptibility to scab. And there's a couple other clones out here that I won't talk about today that they're in the same boat. But it is a good mid-season chipping potato with qualities that are similar to Atlantic, but it's got PVY resistance and doesn't show the internal issues that Atlantic has. The other variety I want to talk about is NC 470-3. This variety has been coming along in the program for a while. It went through successfully through NCPT. It is being ramped up by Potatoes USA right now for the snack trials for 2021 and 2022. And it is also in the hands of a seed grower, Dan Corey and Sarah Corey, up in northern Maine, where it's being increased for regional East Coast regional yield trials. And seeds should be available from that avenue for other growers as well, hopefully. But it is a later variety than Atlantic. It has a set that in most years is comparable to Atlantic or a little better. Yields are always better in the end. But where this variety really shines, I mean, you can get past the virus resistance, lack of internal problems, resistance to foliar late blight, get beyond those. But where this variety really shines is the top. If you look at the top of 470-3, the top is later than Atlantic. I mean, there's no question about it. And as the season progresses and as Atlantic goes down and as Atlantic starts to have IHN problems and rot problems, the top on 470 is going to keep going. And it's going to keep going probably another 20 days beyond when Atlantic is done. And that top will hold those potatoes underneath. And so you get a nice crop of potatoes underneath the top. They don't rot that much because they've got a good top that's sucking up the moisture and keeping the sun off of them. And in the end, the yield is good. The one flaw of this variety, though, is solid. Its gravity is typically about 3 to 4 points less than Atlantic, and it's something that we've been contending with. Other than that, we think it's a winner, and so it's being advanced forward, and hopefully it'll be released in the next couple of years.
All right, a quick recap here. What I'd like to do is to thank everybody for joining us today, for allowing us to share with you some of the exciting research that we've been conducting on farm with our collaborators, Black Gold Farms and Chris Hopkins. It's been a really trying time for us all. We really missed seeing you in Elizabeth City. We hope that this is not going to be the new norm, but I honestly feel that there are some things that are coming out of the situation right now in terms of how we're capturing content, how we're sharing information, that really are kind of bringing things to a whole new level. So I expect that possibly in the future, if we can't always get together, that videotaping some of the results of our research work in the field, on farm, with key cooperators really will add to the value of the research that we're doing with you and for you here at NC State University. So again, I'd like to thank all of our partners, mostly our North Carolina Potato Association members who have supported us over so many years to do our on-farm trials work. And we look forward to seeing you next year, and I hope you've learned some things. If you have questions about any of the clones in the field that either Mark or I or Chris just spoke about, don't hesitate to reach out to us either via phone or via email. we'll get right back to you. Remember, we also use this thing called the Potato Variety Database, which is sponsored through the Potatoes USA. The Variety Data Management System has all of the data on all the varieties that we've spoken about this year at your fingertips, and that includes both the on-farm trials, the disease resistance, and the performance of the clones, in many cases pictures of actual clones present in our database, and even chipping results too. So with that, I'll thank you for your time. I wish you a successful season, and we hope to see you again in person at another time. Thank you. Some good bloopers here. Yeah, there you go. Now you're talking.
Hi, I'm Andrea Gibbs. I'm the ag agent for Hyde and Terrell counties. I was supposed to say welcome. Welcome.
The first one I'd like to talk about is Belmonda.
Ah! Are you doing something else, or? You're ready.
At your fingertips.